What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Falappi YouTube channel. And today, well, we've got a giant jug, and we're going to be looking at an abandoned bridge. Let's get into it, guys. Welcome back to the Falappi YouTube channel. Like I said, my name is Mike, and today we're going to be looking at an abandoned bridge. Now, I thought it was most appropriate to start right here and look at this monument right here and talk about what exactly that is. So, I will put this here. You could go ahead and, you can see this and everything going on here. And I think I'm going to cut out and put a map in and maybe talk and do a voiceover and go into more history about what all this is here and what this is for. As you can see, there's that monument sitting next to this bridge. And we're going to be right next to this bridge. We're going to be looking at the abutments to this bridge, but we're not actually going to be on this bridge. We're going to be on a completely different bridge, and I think it'd be easiest to explain that and the confusing mess that is Maryland alignments of National Road US 40. I think it'd be easiest to do that by going to a cutout. For instance, you got Maryland 144 that runs over here and over there. And then down here, you got the current I-70 US 40. And then there's also Scenic 40. And then 68 is also technically 40. So I think it'd be easiest if I cut out. And also, I have another video that I did when I visited Sidling Hill Rest Stop on I-68. I tried to explain then. So I will explain again in this video, I think, a little bit about, Maryland alignments and also the history of what was the Jug Bridge. But here's the original plaque that stood near that bridge. That bridge was built, I believe they said 1808. I'll clarify in the history segment. And then that bridge got destroyed, and then they built what we're going to go see today. So, I don't know if you can tell that it's wet and raining out here, and it's kind of nasty. So I'm not going to stand out here too long. But I wanted to come and see the big stone jug, because who doesn't like big jugs? Am I right? Okay, guys, let's get out of here. Welcome back to History and Geography with Mike Falappi. Take 78,000, because this is confusing and I don't like the way that it's turning out. So, speed running the 7 other takes that we already took. You're looking at the border of Pennsylvania and Maryland, with a little bit of West Virginia over there, but don't worry about that because it's not super important to what we're doing. So, you got 40 that runs down from Wheeling. The portion of 40 that we're talking about is the portion that runs from Baltimore to Wheeling, even though in totality it runs from New Jersey to Utah. The portion that runs from Baltimore to Wheeling is the National Road. Go read a history lesson about Braddock and all of those guys back in the day. Very interesting. Maybe we'll go to Fort Necessity one of these days on the channel because it's right there and it's kind of interesting. But I've been there 1,000 times, so it's not, super interesting to me because, I've done it. So while we have this big, wide view, let's talk a little bit about 40, 68, and 70. So, from what you can see, you have, 40 that runs down here to 68. Then you have, you can see 76 up here, and you can kind of see 70. and 70 goes all the way up and around and becomes 76 because Pennsylvania is cheap and they don't want to give free access to road. They want you to toll road all the way across straight to Breezewood where 70 comes back down. So over here around, Hancock, Hagerstown over in here, 68 Maryland becomes 70 again when 70 comes down from Breezewood to 68. If you didn't watch my last exploration video about the abandoned turnpike, we were up in here around Breezewood, Wells Tannery. Abandoned turnpike's over here. So go watch that. That was about as close to Breezewood as I ever want to get. It's not a very good place to go. The traffic is very busy. I mean, there's some cool stuff to do there, I guess, but it's just super busy, and I don't really want to be over there at all. Anyway, so now you understand. I don't care about Lona Koning. So anyway, you got 70 that comes down to 68. You got 40 that comes down to 68. So what exactly is 68? Let's zoom in and take a look. So you're over here at the border. You're over here at the border. Let me readjust this map and get away from West Virginia. There we go. So anyway, you're coming down here from 40. And then you meet what's called 68. So in Maryland, technically, whenever you get to this nice little Kaiser's Ridge cloverleaf, technically, you have 68, which is a national pike, but you also have alternate 40, also known in certain places as scenic 40. And technically over here, 40 is still the national pike, and 68 kind of isn't, but it is at the same time. So we're going to zoom out again because I really don't need to follow it all the way. You get over to, you see at Cumberland and LaVale, you still have alternate 40, 68. But you go just a little bit past Cumberland, and then you get to 144. Now, technically over here, 4068 is considered the national freeway. However, if you go and look at 144, 144 is considered Baltimore Pike, which is also still the national road. So you have 40, alternate scenic, you have 68, which is also 40, and you have 144, which are older alignments of 68 that were outgrown and bypassed at different points in time. I could probably go and dig up MDOT records and, exact years that these different things were, bypassed. But I just don't really, I just want you to understand that, technically when you get into Maryland, all of this is technically considered the national road, but at the same time it's not. So, as I said before, let me zoom out of here. 68 becomes 70 over here, where 70 comes down from Breezewood, and 68 meets 70. So 68 is no more. Then you still have 70 and 144 that comes down through here, which technically you still have 40 again. But once you get into where we're going to be today, over here at Frederick, if I can zoom out before we get over there, yeah, here we go. So once I get into the city of Frederick, and once you start zooming in, I just have to see Motor Vehicle Association, and I know that over here we have Chisago RV, and then we have where we're going to be today. So, from the beginning of our video, if you want to look for the airport and 70, which is over here, when you round this road, you have the Jug Monument where we are right now, or in the scene that you saw. And then it's just a short little drive over here down the road past Chisago RV, not sponsored. And then we park here, and then you have the original 1808 Jug Bridge, the 40s Jug Bridge, and then the bridge that's still active today. So, the original Jug Bridge, 86,000 tabs, would have been the one in the pictures here. There's the marker. Is there a nice picture? No, because they can't do that. It's too much work to add a nice picture. Thank you for this site, as good as it is, but you could have paused and saw that. Anyway, like I said, built up bridge in 1808, and then basically it collapsed in 1942. And then here's this. Here we go. Here's a picture of the 1808 bridge with, there's your nice little jug. There's a postcard. And then here's some of the stuff that we didn't go and see down in the woods, the abutments to the bridge and all that stuff. So it takes us back up to this bridge, which is really this bridge here. So this is the one that we actually came to see today, the 1940s Jug Bridge. And if you look at this, the reason why they shut it down, like I alluded to, were 5 killed, 12 injured in bus crash near Frederick, which would have been on about August 25th, 1985. So basically, yeah, you could read this. It's not, yeah. I don't need to narrate any of that, but you can tell how graphic that stuff was. Then if you come down here, you have tons of people said, that, they were sliding their cars on this bridge. So that's why they basically decided, I don't know if it says in here anywhere, but yeah, after that bridge was about done. So that was the end of this bridge, and yeah, let's go take a look at it in real time. We're now at the old Maryland Park and Ride, and also up that way there's Chisaco RV dealer. So I mean, if for whatever reason you can't come here, I'm sure the RV dealer doesn't really care. But yeah, this is like, walled off, but they just don't want you driving down here as far as I know. So I don't really think they care. Obviously, if you were going to go cause trouble, they probably don't want you doing that. But it's cool that this is still semi-decent road. As you can see coming down here, there's some stuff in the middle of the road that I guess was used as jumps for skateboarders, or I don't know, skateboarders, BMX bikers, or whatever. But yeah, it's not a bad path to come on down here on this bridge. Obviously, if you saw my last exploring video where we did the turnpike, that was a little bit rough on the second half of that. It's currently December when I'm filming this. It's also very wet. I don't really think this camera picks up rain that good, but I mean, maybe you can kind of see just how wet it is on the concrete. It is like, I don't know, somewhere between 45, 50 degrees out, so it's not terrible out here. I mean, for a December, I mean, I'm from southwestern PA, and I mean, I used to spend however many weeks a year in Maryland, and the weather was just never that bad down here either. So, I mean, we'll take it. It's better than places where it snows 68 months a year, or places where it's just a couple hundred degrees all the time. But yeah. I remember I was still coming to Maryland all the time when I found out that this place was a thing, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna come down here one week when I'm spending time in Maryland. And now that my commitments that bring me to Maryland have come to an end, I was like, still want to go out and see this bridge. I mean, it's kind of cool that it's just out here. So, you know, I wrapped that up with, you know, going and seeing Turnpike up in Pennsylvania, and just we're like, we'll come down here and hit all this stuff in one shot, you know. And I think it was worth it coming down to this bridge. So as you can see, we're coming up to it. Looks like there's obviously is a fence on the other side. We're not going to go across that. I don't know at what point they bulldozed this fence down or someone tore it down, but that works good for me because I could just walk right across it. So once we get up here and cross over, we will be on the interstate, or I guess pre-interstate, US 40 bridge. This place belongs to the Ho Elses now. Who? I don't know who that is. And here we are on the old US 40 bridge in Maryland. And I love bridges that are architectured like this. So, like I said, I don't know how good I did in the video, but this bridge was built during the Second World War, which they did not do a whole lot of construction back then. But the reason why they did was because that original bridge fell down. You could see down there where that little hut is, if you can kind of see the stone right there, that is one abutment, and that is another abutment of the original Civil War, pre-Civil War era 40 Jug Bridge that we saw the monument for. I've seen the videos. I'll link a couple of them. There's a good one by a guy by the name of Stuff That's Gone channel. And another one, I can't remember the name of the guy, but he's, I don't know, he was pretty enthusiastic and wore a Mike Myers mask. And he actually went down there and saw those abutments. I'm alone. I'm not going to do that. But, just for your information, 1808 bridge down there. This is the 44 bridge, I think, and that one was made 54, 55, 56. So that would have been your original US 40 bridge down here. This would have been 40. That would have been 40. They would have been tied together at some point to make what was 70, eastbound, westbound lane here. And then whenever this one was just completely decommissioned after the bus accident in 1985, they went to that bridge only, and then I guess sometime thereafter that became Maryland 144, and then you have Big 70 off in the distance over there. You can kind of see the big trucks through the trees. But yeah, this is real cool. Like I said, you could just tell by the style of the architecture. Like, look at the difference. You know, that there, all it is just, you know, steel, a little bit of concrete on top, which is the way that bridges started to go in that era. You could see that that was all riveted together. You know, they used to have the iron workers. They didn't bolt anything together back then. They had a rivet forge up on a bridge, and they riveted that bridge together. This is all stone underneath. It would be great to go down and see it from the bottom. I'll try to put a picture in, but I don't really feel like climbing all the way down there, because I heard that it's one heck of a trick getting down there and getting back. So I'm not going to do that alone today. But really, by looking, if you go back and pause and look at the stonework on the jug, that's really all there is to see down there. It's the same exact stone, which is why they pulled the jug out and stuck it over there. But yeah, it's really cool. Now, I can't tell exactly where, you know, the bus would have went over the side. I have not found any good, anywhere, you know, source of information saying what they exactly did. But from what I am aware of, they, I believe they redid part of the bridge. You know, they refixed whatever and kept using it in the short-term interim until they figured out what they were going to do, I think. But yeah. There's quite a big slant on this bridge. The grade is crazy. It'd be crazy to take a bike up this side of the bridge and then ride it all the way down. Because you could, and then see how far up the hill on the other side you get. But yeah. The main reason I wanted to come out here and see all this is because where I'm from in Pennsylvania, this bridge would have been imploded, but for whatever reason, Maryland Department of Transportation, I guess, decided it would, you know, I guess since they were going to bypass this or whatever, they were just not going to have 4 lanes anymore this way, or whatever cost-saving measures they had, they decided that it would be easier and more effective to just let this bridge rot into the ground out here than it would be to blow it up. Now, I've seen many bridge implosions, and bridge implosions are cool, but honestly, I like the fact that this is still here and that you can come out and see it, and, you know, it gives tourists something to do. Honestly, it hasn't been vandalized too much. I mean, there's a little bit of graffiti, but I mean, it's not completely torn apart. It's crazy that, you know, there's so much foliage on a bridge out here. I guess it's just from years of seeds and whatever, just getting up on the bridge, because obviously when the bridge was built, you know, you have grass over there and you have grass over here, but there's no grass in the middle of the bridge. It's just a bridge. So I guess seeds from the air, you know, just took up in the cracks and the dirt and sediment, and that's how it happened. I mean, if someone out there knows biology and stuff better than me, you know, I'm a mechanic, not a scientist, so, you know, you let me know. But I just think that's cool that there's so much foliage out in the middle of I mean, obviously it's abandoned. I mean, you know, and anywhere that seeds can find sediment, I guess they're gonna, you know, or soil of some kind, they're gonna take up. And I mean, so I guess it's not as crazy as, you know, I thought it would be, but yeah, it's out here. One more look over the foggy, what is it? Monocacy River, Monocacy, I don't know. Monocacy, I don't know. If I think about it in the history portion, I'll look up a proper pronunciation. I think it's Monocacy River. I've heard some old-timey local people with an accent call it the Monocacy River, but I'm pretty sure it's Monocacy River. I think it's spelled like Monocacy, so I guess it would be Monocacy, but I don't know. But I mean, it's a cool river. It's not super deep. Doesn't look like, at least not from here. No, I wouldn't recommend, I mean, wading in it. I don't know if there's any fish in there. I don't know if, I guess you can fish in here. I don't know. I'm not a big fisherman. I'm a explorer and a mechanic, so, but we'll take one more look across this side over at the old, or I guess the new bridge, the newer bridge, that's present day Maryland 144. People seeing my history stuff probably, you know, my exploration videos are probably, you know, why isn't he super, you know,
why isn't he super thorough with the exploration side of it? And honestly, you know, I like the exploration. The exploration is cool, but I almost care more personally about the history side of the whole thing than I do the thrill seeker side of the whole thing. I like to document stuff, really. You know, that's my thing. The documentation. I mean, who knows? One day MDOT might wake up and decide that it's time to implode this because it's unsafe or whatever. But there will always be a video, and I mean, I leave the more dangerous stuff to the thrill seekers, I guess. You know, I'm not a killjoy or a party pooper. I just don't want to, you know, I ain't trying to die today. You know, it's a great day to be alive, despite how terrible your life may be at some points, you know. It's never worth putting yourself, I guess, in risk. You don't necessarily have to put yourself in, you know. And as much as I'd like to see down there, you know, all this would be, you know, same thing with stuff at the turnpike. It would all be, you know, rectified by having a exploring partner. But, you know, when you live the solo lifestyle that I'm living right now, I mean, it's either you pick up and do stuff yourself or you sit in the dark and don't do anything. So I took my PTO and, you know, did the best that I could do. So, yeah. Well, anyway, that's about all there is to see out here on this bridge. So I'm going to take some personal pictures and stuff and go on back up to the park and ride and take one last look down, and we'll end this video off there, guys. Well, I decided that I would just film the outro walking up away from the bridge to save time. You could see the bridge behind me. So this will kind of give you an idea of about how long this road is heading back up to the truck. Less than a mile, has to be. Far less than a mile. I don't know. But I mean, I could see the park and ride from here, and I could see the bridge from the truck. So I mean, it's not that bad. But yeah, I've enjoyed this trip coming out here and looking at some abandoned stuff. So I got some more ideas for some places to go. The whole idea about this is abandoned things that you can go and see that aren't like, you know, some of these places some of these guys go that are just, you know, like, yeah, they're cool to see, but if you get caught, you'll, you know, go to prison for however many years. Like, this is completely and totally legal. They could care less if you come and see this stuff as long as you don't, you know, do anything illegal out here. Same thing with the turnpike from the last video. So I have some ideas of some other stuff to go and see. If you remember, about a year ago, I posted a video back at Bingo Creek County Park in Pennsylvania. Still have to go out and film some more videos there, but, you know, work has gotten in the way. But, you know, I still have some free time that I want to use to film some more videos. Instead of sitting around in the dark and complaining about how boring life is, why don't I go out and have some fun doing some stuff like this, you know? But anyway, you know, let me know if there's anything else in, you know, the Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Virginia, you know, Maryland, Ohio area or so that I can go and see, you know, either take a 2-day weekend like I did here or go see in a day or whatever. And let me know if there's something like this that you'd like me to cover, or if you want me to go more in depth on whatever. Because I like doing this kind of content. It's a lot more fun for me than working on cars. I do that for a living, and if people gave me the right amount of money to, you know, have better parts and tools and, you know, all that influencer sponsor stuff, maybe it'd be more fun working on cars. Probably not. Then you'd be working under the constraints of whoever, but, you know, can't really work too much on my personal stuff at work because I'm busy. And after I work 48-hour week at work, I don't really feel like coming and working on my own stuff all that much. But maybe I'll do it for viewers like you if I think about it. But anyway, thanks for watching. You know, it's the viewership that makes me want to do this. Comments people leave, you know. So thank you everyone who watches these videos. You know, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram. And yeah, you know, it's all that kind of stuff that, you know, makes a guy like me want to do this. You know, I could have came out here and not filmed this video, but I want to share it with you so that you can come here and know things about it. Because, you know, there's all kind of information out there, but you know, you now have a 20-25 minute video you can watch, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. And for everything I couldn't help you with, I gave you some other places to get it, and then now you can come out and make your own conclusions on coming out and seeing this stuff. So, like I said, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. There's the Ram truck. There's the bridge. And I will see you on the next episode of the Mike Falappi YouTube channel. Thank you, guys.